Welcome to the 5-7 Podcast. I'm your host, Pri. Tonight, we're joined by Ronaldo Linares. He is a former Marine. He grew up in Colombia and is now a chef. And so, Ronaldo, what got you into the culinary arts?
Culinary arts, my family growing up in Medellin, Colombia, born there. I come from a line of chefs. My mother's a chef. She's, I like to call her a rustic style chef. Kind of throws stuff in the pan. Comes out really good. And then my dad is more classically trained French chef. He's pretty much cooked all over the world. And at that time in Colombia, we had a restaurant called El Telestar. It's like a viejoteca. So it's a nightclub restaurant. So during the days, a restaurant, nighttime is a nightclub / restaurant. And we did a lot of just classic Colombian Cuban dishes there, and served a lot of booze, a lot of dancing, a lot of women and all that. It was during the Pablo Escobar era. So imagine that kind of wild, wild west scene in a way where, you know, my father's restaurant was one of the highways that a lot of the cartel traveled by. So they stopped there a lot. And they ate frequently there, man. Came in there and had a good time, danced, drank. And it was very interesting to say the least, because I did spend my weekends there picking up bottles. And I was like 5 years old, 6 years old, picking up bottles and stuff. Because if the thing was with me, I was a very adventurous child. So if my mother had something to do, I had to stay with my father because they were afraid of what I was going to do by myself. So I would be with my father on the weekend, and I sometimes I would purposely just do things. I kind of strategically put myself in situations because, man, the tips were good. They would give me some good money, and it was I gained a lot of life lessons from those moments. So. Kind of, it was like that for a few years. There was I saw a lot of killing, a lot of dead bodies. We got shot at on the highway because that's what they did. They were on the highway and they would shoot at cars, man. It was bad. It was really bad. And thankfully we escaped out of there with our lives and came here to start from zero, from scratch, literally homeless for like 2 years until we found our way,
So you were born in Colombia then, correct?
Yep, Medellin, Colombia, the epicenter, the hive.
Yeah, no kidding.
El Cartel.
What was your early childhood like?
My childhood was amazing, man. A lot of people, people that know me personally, I've told my story, and they're like, "How the hell is it amazing, man? You're dodging bullets." I'm like, if you take that to the side. I had a loving mother. We lived very well. We were in an affluent neighborhood and rich, pretty much, compared to the rest of the people. Our house had a 12-foot wall around the house that was embedded with spikes and glass. We had a nighttime person covering our 6 and our 12 and our 3 and our 9 every night. And besides the barred windows and the double door and all this other stuff, that's what life was. But, we had everything we needed at any time, every toy you could possibly think of. Mother was there, dad was working, he was doing whatever he was doing. And, we had an abundant life, but we weren't raised to recognize that abundant life. We were raised to respect it and to live humbly, right? So the changes that have occurred through my life, even to this day, it doesn't really affect me because I wasn't raised like that. You know what I'm saying? I was raised to if you have this much, if you have an abundant amount of material and money and everything, is still live as if you didn't, but obviously act and you grow and evolve with that, but still live within your means. I got taught that valuable lesson at an early age by my mother.
So would you say maybe your life is good and everything's going well, and then would you say the violence from the cartels happened, or was that going on like the whole time?
It was escalating, right? So around 1984, 1985, that's when it started really happening. That's when I could remember things. 1986, I saw the first person get killed, get shot about 100 yards away from in front of our house, man. So we were out, and I remember that day specifically. It was crazy. I was out in the yard. I was helping our gardener, right? So I don't know if you guys remember those lawnmowers that kind of you just had to push and it turned with the blade. So that's what we mowed the lawn with. So I would mow the lawn, and then I would help pick up the grass clippings, and I'll do the maintenance around the yard, with the gardener. I like to stay busy, right? And I remember that day I heard a gunshot, and I looked down and I saw a guy running up, holding his leg. And maybe a couple minutes later, a guy on a bike came around the corner, and it was like a movie, man. He came and skidded to the right and kind of gained his balance, and he took off the hill. But during that exact time, a lady was walking with two cloth bags filled with milk, eggs, for the week, right? Bringing food for her family. The guy in the motorcycle felt the need to stop in front of her and shoot her 5 shots in the head, man. 5 shots. I could still hear it, bro. It was just as clear as day. I could go back. I'm getting chicken skin right now thinking about it, man. Just bah, 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 bah. And that guy just put his gun away, flipped his visor down. I saw it was like a movie, man. Yeah. He turned and boom, 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 and then that bike took off. And maybe a few minutes later, you heard another bah, bah, bah. And that was that. And as crazy as the scene was, I could go back to the day. I wasn't scared. I wasn't screaming. I was like, my first thing was like, yo, let's go check that out. And I ran down to the scene, and there was still blood pouring from her head, bro. Like a pool of blood around her head. Blood was still coming. It was in the movies where kind of like the blood comes out.
Yeah.
It's just like that. It was crazy. And I remember I got there, and other neighbors got there, and it was just like, there goes another one, right? During that time was crazy. And then like things like that, not that bad, but similar, happened throughout the next couple of years, right? Because Pablo Escobar went on a war with the police in Medellin, and you would drive around, bombs would go off, man. They were bombing themselves, right? It was like terrorism, local terrorism. You know what I'm saying?
Wasn't there like one point where he was kind of like a like he was good with the people, and then wasn't there like a point where he just went to war with the police?
Well, he was set up so he was good to the people around where he was at to protect them. Mm-hmm. He wasn't good to the people. He was strategically doing it so they could cover his ass, right? He gave them money and all that stuff, but he also gave them guns. All things like that to give them a lookout, and the cops were coming and all that. And these people were killing other people, innocent people, man, taking the lives from people. So it's like, it's how you look at it, right? Imagine going down, and you're going down this highway, this 2-lane highway, right? And you're driving, you're talking with your mom. This is like, I'm telling you from a life experience. I was in the passenger side on our Ford Bronco, like 1982 Ford Bronco. So,
my uncle had one of those.
Dope freaking, like from the Commando, you know what I'm talking about? He like pushes it and he's driving down that one
no
right
brakes.
With the white top. Yeah. With the white top. Same thing, man. So we're driving on this highway, and my mom's driving and shit, and my brother's in the back sleeping. My youngest brother sleeping. And we're going, and I look up, and I heard a shot, and I look up, and then I see this guy's in a kind of pickup truck, hanging out the side, just shooting, bro.
No kidding.
Swear. There was a pickup truck in front of the guy, in front of that car. He swerves, we swerve at the same time, so we come to a halt, we hit each other, we crash, man. And I was so well aware, man. I've been always well aware through my life, of danger, of like what to do next. I don't know what it is, but it's there. So as soon as that happened, we crashed. Mom, get your head down. Get your head down. We went down and we just waited, man. And we're praying, man. My mom starts praying. I'm like, please don't stop. Please don't stop. And like, if they stop, they're killing us, man. Right. And they just kept going. I get up. I spring up. I check on my mom. Mom, you're okay? She's like, I'm good to go. I was bleeding a little bit. I check on my brother. You're all right. He's crying and shit because he messed up his nose. He's bleeding from his nose. Yeah, and I'm like, you're okay. You're fine. Don't worry about it. I get out of the car. I'm like, probably 6, maybe 7. 7, maybe, I will say. I can't remember the exact age. So I got out of the car. I run to the other car and check on the older gentleman. It's like, you're okay? He's like, sir, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. We got to jump in the car and we just go. There was no like, hey, let's call each other's insurance. It was
right.
It was like, go, because it was that bad, man. And then we left, and that was like, man, that was one of so many moments. It was crazy. Like, my childhood memories are filled with some fun, but like, hey, mom, remember that time we were in traffic and someone tried to grab your necklace, but you put the window up and then you dragged that guy for like 30 yards in the car until he let go of your necklace? Like, that is a conversation and we would laugh at. Like, that is true though. Like, it sounds crazy,
she's
but
like, yeah, stupid though.
Yeah, it's so true, because my mom's like, este hueputa, this son of a she's not taking my fucking necklace. And she grabs the guy's hand, puts the window up, and we drove off for like 30 yards, man. And she's like, este hueputa. And that guy's like, let me go, man. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, mom, what the fuck? I'm like, mom. Yeah. And then the guy lets go, and then he fell and rolled on the street. So she was really pissed. She really liked the necklace, as you could tell, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
We got her home, and she found her necklace in her bra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so he didn't get it.
The guy fucking dropped it, bro. I was nuts, man. One's Colombian from Medellin. They're notorious, man. They're notorious from Medellin.
And then the Cali cartel started warring with Pablo, right?
Yeah. They all started because when you have too much, others get jealous, right?
Yeah.
And you start undercutting your people. You start kind of not treating them the same way, and you're going overboard. Right. Once you go overboard, you're messing with other people's money, and they're okay with their police, right? They got, they're bribing. Nobody's getting into nobody's shit. Everybody's getting the money, and Pablo Escobar is like, hell, no, I want everything, and that's how eventually it happened. And they found him on top of that apartment complex and on top of the Spanish tile. You know what I'm saying?
That's nuts.
It's crazy imagine having all of that, right? All the money in the world. And there was many times you could have gotten out, right? And your last breath is on top of Spanish tiles in one of the poorest neighborhoods in Colombia.
While everybody's chasing after you.
Imagine that. Like, that is your last breath.
Brutal.
Right?
I guess
up to the gates. And name, please, Pablo Escobar. And then okay, nope. Oh shit, no, you had all this. You died on top of a roof with Spanish tiles? Yeah. Oh man, that sucks. What a life, right? Right? And it's like, get the hell out of here. You go.
Yeah, no kidding.
You don't belong in hell. We're gonna leave you in the middle, right, in purgatory. If you think about your thing, I think that's where he's at. But anyway,
if he's in purgatory, I'm definitely going to heaven, dude.
Oh no. I always say that, man. I'm always like I think I've climbed back up into heaven. But yeah, man, it was really crazy. All those, so many moments, so many memories of, and I say good memories because that's what's built the person I am today.
So when you left Colombia, you came to America, and where did you come to?
So we landed in Miami first. We were there 6 months, and we got on an Amtrak, right? We got on an Amtrak, took the trek from Miami to Newark Penn Station in March. There was snow on the ground. I've never seen snow. I was not prepared. I had purple sweatpants on, a gray sweatshirt, and some shoes in the winter. Snowy, like snow. This is before like global warming got really bad, and it was like actually snow during the winter.
Yeah.
And it was, I was like, holy crap! Like, Mom, why did we come here? We were in Miami. It was warm,
Yeah.
sunny. Like I felt like I never left Colombia in a way, right? Because I was talking
Right.
Spanish and stuff down there. But for whatever reason, God had a different plan for us, and we came here. And we came to New Jersey, and my aunt picked us. Man, my aunt picked us up. You know those old Suzuki hatchbacks?
Yeah.
Two-door. They look like those like a car, like a weird car. Like,
Yeah.
the hatchback, old school.
Yeah, I remember.
More Focus. The back in the day.
Yeah.
So that's what she picked us up in that. So it was me, my younger brother, my oldest brother, and my mother, and my aunt, because she picked us up, and our luggage. We had the trunk pretty close, so we had to like tie it down. This was in the winter, so the cold's getting in. We're back there packed up like sardines, and it was like. And I was like, man, hey, this is America. Amazing. Like, awesome.
Yeah.
And we ended up living with my aunt for just like a couple of weeks. We were in a 1-bedroom apartment with like 7 people coming from an estate, man. Like I slept on a king bed when I was little.
Oh, wow.
Me and my brother had a king bed. We had everything possible. We had a maid. We had, it was like the shift was crazy. And it was like that. And we slept, that's where we slept for a little bit. And then we had to move out of there and go to my aunt's attic to another aunt. And so we were homeless for like about 2 years, man.
Wow.
With no money. We had like $15,000 because we had to liquidate everything. Like it was like a pennies on the dollar, man. It was crazy. Wow. So we got here, $15,000 to kind of restart, while my father and my second oldest brother sold everything back in Colombia.
How many siblings do you have?
4. I have 4 siblings from my mother, and then my dad had 2 other siblings for his previous marriage. So I have a half sister, and my older brother, we never met him. He left Cuba by a raft, and they never found him. So he could be alive, he could be dead. Nobody knows.
Oh, wow.
Somebody know, like you never found out, man. So yeah, he could be alive. And I know I've met a lot of Linares, and I always ask him every time I find a Linares. Mm-hmm. I try to ask him a few questions about their background, but never, always cold. But you never know, man. I'll be imagine that, man. A brother, like a 55-year-old brother somewhere.
Yeah. So you grew up in New Jersey, and how was that? Dealing with kids. I'm sure the kids are much different in New Jersey than they are in Colombia.
Man, it sucked. I came from a place where I was an anomaly, bro. Look at me, man. White as could be, blonde hair, and I didn't look like anybody in Colombia. And I'm talking from my personal experience. My brothers. My younger brother, my oldest brother, they look Spanish, Colombian. Me and my older brother, white. So it's like we had to try like extra hard, kind of to fit in. And as when you're a kid, you don't know, man. So when I got here, it sucked. I didn't fit in with nobody. Like the Spanish people were different here than they are over there, and then the white people didn't bring me in because didn't speak English. I lived very little, like the basic shit, like hi, how are you, hello, right. Where's the bathroom and shit like that. Right. And then with the Spanish people, it was the same. It was weird, man. Like, who's this Colombian kid? So it took me a little bit to kind of fit in and figure it out. I got made fun a lot. I got bullied, so I fought a lot. I'm not one person to take nothing from anybody. I don't care how big you are. I don't care how many people are there. I am going in. I mean, obviously, That's when I was younger, not now.
Yeah.
But during that time, I didn't care, man. I almost got killed in Colombia. I almost got stabbed, bro. I was like, and that was my mentality. I'm like, F it. If they're going to pick on me, I'm going in. And they're going to respect me one way or the other. And as I learned English, and I made it a must, like, I need to read. I need to, I would watch cartoons like crazy and just TV and read and educate myself, because I knew it was, I needed to use it as a tool of communication and to battle these bullies, these people. So as I kind of created myself and found myself, I gravitated. It was weird. Like, let me go over here. Nope. No. Let me go over here. Nope. Every group I went to, I didn't fit in. I didn't feel like I fit in. It was weird because, like, you'll try to assimilate a little bit, right? To like be cool and shit and hang out, and because you don't know any better, and then you see these idiots being mean to other people, and you kind of be mean yourself, right? Because you want to be cool, right? You want to be part of this shit, but it's not you. Eventually, you're like, this is not cool, man. This is not. What are you doing? What, so people could like you? And it went like that for a little bit, and then finally, I was like, let me just be nice to everybody. Right. Let me talk to everybody. Let me talk to the nerds, the geeks, the skinny, the fat, the in between, the ugly, the good looking. Like, let me just be friendly as hell, like I was in Colombia.
Yeah.
And that's what, essentially I started just creating really cool groups, and everybody knew me and everybody started to know me. And kind of that approach has grown throughout my life. And thankfully, man, because there's people I was nice to for 10 minutes that I'll meet now, and they'll I don't remember, but they remember me. They're like, oh, you were really nice to me that one day. That I'm like, oh, cool. I was like, no, thank you so much, because everybody's a dick. And I was like, oh man. I was like, no, I was just being nice, right?
Right.
So it's like, it comes to tell you, like, you never know who you're running in. Whoever you run into, be a cool people, bro. Be nice, no matter what where they are in life. You hear that, like, that saying, even the janitor, you treat the janitor like the CEO, and everybody in between. And when it comes down to it, to make a decision to choose you for a job, to choose you for a project, you're gonna come up. Your name will come up. They're going to come up because they remember that one conversation, that one moment. And it's just life or moment, right?
Right. Yeah, I'm a big believer in not burning any bridges.
Yeah.
So you get out of high school and you go and join the Marines?
Yeah, man.
What made you want to do that?
I needed discipline. Like I said, through trying to go into different groups, I get in a lot of trouble. In those times. And me, it's kind of like I knew, like, my mom's like, why the hell are you always in trouble? I'm like, Mom, I'm bored. I didn't like school. I feel like I wasn't being challenged enough. And I was just like, I knew I was not doing good. Like, I knew I was a bad kid. Like, I knew it. Like, I know I'm being like this, but I'm like, I'm just going to graduate and go to the Marine Corps anyway and go to college there. So whatever, like, I have a plan. Let me enjoy my time in high school, which is a horrible approach. I should have, like, tried a lot harder. And I tell people that, and they laugh, because I know my potential, and now, like, and I wish I would have put that into play then, because my senior year, man, if I didn't get all A's, I wouldn't have graduated.
Wow.
I had to get all A's to graduate high school, because I was eating crap the rest of the 3 years. I was like, let me just have a good time, barely pass my classes, whatever. While my parents were struggling, and we're trying to build this life. And that's, during that time, during the high school, before the Marine Corps, in 1990, 2.5 years after 2.5 years, we're like bouncing all over the place. And then my father opened the restaurant. He got here We opened the restaurant, and that was open for 25 years. So during that time, I would work at the restaurant on the weekend. I would sleep in the basement at the weekend. I would sleep in a basement that you could not see the hand in front of you. There were spiders. There was everything. We built a little room. There was a Marine Corps style cot. And you know those cots only fit one person. Two people slept on that. I took a shower under a hose, and the water was cold as could be. And that was my life on the weekends at 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, man, until we bought our house in Raritan, New Jersey.
So when you got to the Marines, you were good to go then?
I was good to go, man. I got that shit beat out of me by my mother until I was 12 years old. Every day it seemed like, it was
a cakewalk then, huh?
It was a cakewalk, man. It wasn't hard. It was challenging for my mind. And I knew I wanted to go to the Marines. 15, I put my plan together. I was like, this is what I'm going to do. I had all this like goals and shit. And one of them was like to graduate high school, to go to the Marine Corps. Went to the Marine Corps, and boot camp was like, I had kind of like a heads up from my brother because he went to the Marine Corps too. He's like, you need to do this at certain points. So I was like, and the whole time, that's all I thought about. Be the squad leader. Try to be the guide, and try to be this, try to be that. Get honors, be perfect on the range to get promoted at the end. Like I had that's what kept me in track. And at one point,
you had a purpose.
Yeah, bro. Like purpose driven. And when you're purpose driven, like the obstacles, they're just obstacles. You know, they don't become more than that, right? Like we tend to make life so complicated. We tend to make these obstacles into these giant mountains that we can't cross, you know, when the answer is literally, if you look to your right, there's a sidewalk and you just kind of walk around the mountain. You know, it's such a simple thing. And that I have to, you know, give credit to David Goggins. I was listening to him, and he was talking about that, like, people, they get in front of a tough road or whatever the fuck it is, and they're like, instead of they give up, or they like, oh, it's so hard, I can't cross that rock. Instead of just look to the right, there's a sidewalk there, just make it so hard, just walk around it, you know. Like, and it's such an awesome statement because it's true, you know. Like, we blow it up in our mind when the answer, right, that sidewalk, that answer is right there. We just gotta step away. I could analyze it and just go around it and take care of it and move forward. You know.
Did you get a chance to read his book?
No, it's on the way. I'm excited.
It's really good, man.
Oh, you read it already?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. I've been. I listen to him a lot on podcasts and just videos, all the stuff that he does. I just really enjoy his rawness. He's speaking from a place of experience. He's done it, where he came from. Like, there's a lot of things you can relate to that guy, and it's crazy how it kind of applies to your own life in a way. You kind of take bits of it.
Right.
And you're like, man, and he's kind of calling you out in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how you feel about it, but like when I listen to him, you know, I haven't read his book. I'm getting it this week. This actually should be here tomorrow. Like, I feel like you're being called out, like making you feel guilty and shit for not, you know, trying harder or pushing harder. And it's making you open your mind up differently. And I like him because he is military. He's speaking the truth. And the whole, you know, the whole thing with, you know, people becoming soft is so true.
Yeah, it is. It is
becoming soft, man. I was becoming soft. I said, F this, man. Sorry, cursing so much on your podcast.
It's all good. It's all good, man. Have at it, dude.
Yeah.
So no, I like his too. I like his you know, the way he looks at things too. I mean, I agree with him on probably like 98% of everything. But one thing that I disagree about is that I think that he has like a genetic disposition to like what he does, you know, because I think that if you took 100 people that tried to do what he did,
yeah,
like, you know, like when he ran 100 miles without training,
That is nuts, bro.
with no training. Like, I think 98% of the people who did that, they would have been carried off on a cart, beforehand.
100%.
And it's not like a lack of effort type of a thing. It's just some people can do that. But I love the guy, man. I think that, just his outlook on finding a goal and doing it and how it's achievable, and the reason that people don't achieve it is because they get soft.
Mm-hmm. And I think like I think the premises of him, I don't think I don't think he wants people to run. Like, he could care less if you run 100 miles.
Sure,
he gives a shit.
Yeah,
right. He's one of the things that, like, he's talking from his experience, right?
Right.
And I think his mindset comes from when he was little.
Yeah,
the shit beat out of him.
Yeah.
Going to his father's pimp house and fucking it's crazy, right?
Yeah,
so like he's taking those experiences and he has shifted them in a different way. So I'm not gonna go run 100 miles. Absolutely not. I mean, not because I can't. If you would have said to me, I would probably try to do it. Honestly, I would probably be like, all right, let me train, because I've been like that all my life. At this moment, because I have 2 hip replacements, I probably won't do it, because I would just wear and tear the shit out of my body, and I don't want to change the tires sooner than they have to, right? But I relate to him a lot in those things, and I enjoy the truthfulness and being pushed, right, and getting you out of your comfort zone and becoming unsoft. Because I was kind of getting soft, man.
Yeah, I did.
Like, I was kind of getting soft, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I need to get back to the MMA. I need to get back to hitting the pads and shit. So I went back.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, I need to go back to my old sensei.
Yeah.
And I went back, and they were laughing. They're like, holy shit, Scarface is back. That's my nickname. I used to fight in the Cajun shit. And that's my nickname. They're like, Scarface. So it's like, Scarface is back. I'm like, man, and I felt so good just hitting the pads, like, going in there and being around people like you, the camaraderie, and it feels like you're back with the Marines, you know what I'm saying, in a way.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's why I love it so much, and the push and the mental toughness and the focus, and it just kind of, you tune out. It's like somewhat of a meditation in a way, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So going back to the Marine Corps, I know we went off track here.
Yeah.
But going back to the Marines, when I joined the Marine Corps, it was hard, but it wasn't, like, oh my God, I'm going to die. But it was a lot of fun, man. A lot of ways we were being pushed, and I knew it was going to change my life. It was going to change my body. It was going to change my mind. It was going to teach me discipline. It was going to teach me to respect the life. And being there for 3 months, man, without seeing your family, talking to nobody, it was amazing, man. Refocus. And I went through a lot there, just kind of an emotional change, how I looked at the world and looked at different things. And it was a lot of, you're able to think a lot. You're able to get in your thoughts. And it was really cool. It's I'll tell you a story about in the Marine Corps. So every platoon, I don't know, when you were in boot camp, you have that one soldier, one recruit that is just helpless, man. He can't stand at attention. Yeah. He's got the goggles up, kind of tilted. And even if he's standing at attention, he's going back and forth. It was like the wind behind him, pushing him. And he couldn't get his hand up to shoot. I mean, it was just, there's always one, right? We had 2. I was in charge of one of them, and they put him next to my bunker. So anytime he moved, I got in trouble for it, right? So we went through boot camp, and the hell I went through with him. But I was like, man, I felt it was my duty. Like, he needs to graduate. Like, a poor kid, man. He was going through so much. And in the Crucible, so he made it to the Crucible, and the staff, everyone, the drill instructor is like, let's call him Smith. Let's call him Smith. Recruit Smith. It is a fucking miracle. You are here with us today. You got 49 fucking miles the next 3 days. And if you don't fucking make it, you ain't graduating. You getting sent back to week 1.
Oh my
That's
God.
what we're here, man.
That's enough motivation.
Oh my God, man. We were like, oh, fuck, we were kind of smirk because it was funny, man.
Yeah.
That, the way they speak, especially like the Marine
Man.
drill instructors, you got them with that voice. Like, hey, that was dog.
Yeah.
Hey, Recruit Smith, you're still with us. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Work on that war cry.
It's like, let me hear your war cry. Hoorah! Hey, you hear that war cry? Oh man, it was like, so we went on this. So anyway, we took off right on this march, right? We got our rucksack, our 60 pounds of gear on the right. We got everything, right? And I was focused. I'm like, I know my feet gonna get messed up. This is gonna be tough. We got one freaking MRE for the next 3 days. And there's a lot of work to be done. So I was like, all right, strategic, right? Because that's one of my strengths, being a strategic individual. I was like, I need to check what I have in my MRE and then barter, right? And when the MREs, there's some of them that got the pound cake in it.
Yeah.
They got the hot chocolate. So the hot chocolate, taking my former culinary experience, you make a pudding out of it, right? Like a hot fudge in a way. And then you will get dessert. You get pound cake, you put the fudge on top. Unbelievable. So I knew this was like a commodity. Like, this is hot, right? So I traded that for another chicken and rice. So I had 2 chicken and rice. So I'm like, I'm good. I got my meal. Yeah. And that's like 800 calories or something like that.
Yeah, they're like 800 each or something like that. Yeah.
So I was like, I'm good to go. And this idiot gave me his chicken and rice for a freaking pound cake, man. I was like,
really?
Yeah. So I was like, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
I'm going to be fine. And that way I could give my crackers to, and all other stuff to other people if they need it. Yeah. My 2 meals, I'm going to ration them out. I'm going to be fine. So anyway, after that got that done, Recruit Long is in front of me. He's kind of marching. His shoes, like the boots, man, they were so big around his ankles didn't fit in there. So they moved a lot. Like, just imagine it. Imagine the worst soldier cartoon you could find where the helmet was too big, right? There wasn't one small enough, and it would just tilt everywhere. And he was always pushing it up. We had to come. It was unbelievable, man. So we had a 3-day war where it's like a war, just literally a war without the actual bullets, right? And I was just dragging with me. I'm like, guys, we have to keep Recruit Long. Like, he's got to Recruit Smith. He's got to graduate, right? The second day, this guy fucking falls. He fucking breaks, or like his shin bone, right? Fucking breaks it. Small fracture. And I'm like, fucking hey, man. And those drill instructors, here comes the drill instructor, right? Hey, Long, you weren't gonna make it. Chris Smith, we're gonna fucking recycle you. And we just said, Chris Smith's like, no, I'm fine. He gets up, he can't. I'm fine. So we tape them up. He's like, I could make it. So you sure? He's like, you sure? He's like, yeah. Like, all right, Long. We're gonna keep an eye on you. I was like, fuck, man, this guy. I'm like, fuck. So he puts his bag on. He couldn't. I'm like, fuck it. I was like, and at that moment again, that voice, right? Like, God was talking to me, man. And it's like, I have to help this kid out. I gotta help him out. He's been through this. So I grabbed his rucksack. So I put mine on, tied it up real tight, and then I took, how you would get it, and you
throw
it up, you throw your hands up, and it was like, boom. So it's the weirdest. Like, you grab it and you kind of like press it up, and you throw your hands through the belt loops or whatever they're called, the hand, fucking whatever, the belt loops, and it landed perfectly right on top of the other. So I was carrying mine, I was carrying his. The rest of that second day and the third day back to base, which is a 9-mile hump. So on the way back, and it comes that leadership thing, right? Like, as I grew up and other moments in my life where I had to bring people together, and there was other Marines, future Marines, recruits at the time, that were falling down. They had blisters on their feet, man, like that size of size of quarters all over. My feet were messed up. I was like, whatever. Let me, just go, right? I would just think of like, just finish. It's like that overcoming that pain in a way. And people were falling down. So I was like, yo, guys, if you're good, pick up their pack, pick up their rifle. It doesn't matter. We're almost done. We have to finish together. And people were just picking shit up, and then we were going. By the time I had like 3 rifles, I had my pack, Long's pack, and Long he was always in front of me. He was always in front of me. And we just pushed him and pushed him and pushed him until we got there. He made it.
Oh, no shit.
His shin was messed up, but he made it. He graduated with us, man.
Oh, that's great.
The staff sergeant was like, guys, a fucking miracle you graduated. And to that, even when he graduated, he's like, you fucking in my Marine Corps. You don't belong in my Marine Corps. Oh, my. But, it was all saying, man. And I tell you that story because, moments in my life that led me to that very second to be mindful and recognize that somebody needed that hand, needed to help them, needed that, you needed to reach in and bring that inner leadership out, right? To bring out all the strengths from other people, to keep the morale up, and that's like that Marine mindset, right? The military mindset, to teach people using those military principles, teaching people in corporations, in small business, large business, and at schools that how to transfer. I mean, you got to transfer it, right? And word it to civilian life, to the private sector, where they could apply it and change the culture around a corporation where you're excited to come to work. You're excited to produce. You're excited because your boss knows your name and he cares about your child. He cares about your wife, what she's doing if she was sick. Those little things, would changes so much within a culture, man.
Yeah, it does. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
So you went through the Marines, and then what happened next? What did you do?
4 years in the Marine Corps, I was like, peace out. I left because I needed to help my family out in the restaurant. Mm-hmm. So I went to school in the Marine Corps for business. I got out as a sergeant. I went from private all the way to sergeant in the 4 years I was in. I was, very proud of that, man. Very proud to be able to move through all those ranks in that period of time. There's a lot of meritorious mass and all things like that through hard work. I left the Marine Corps to, like I said, to take care of my family's business and help them grow it. And that's the reason I left. And that was that. That started the next 2003 until 2018, being in the family business. So I left the Marine Corps, and about 6 months after I joined the Institute of Culinary Education out in New York City, I went to school to learn the dictionary of cooking. Why you do, why you leave meat out, a little longer before you cook it. Simple things like that, right?
Why do you leave meat out a little bit before you cook it?
Room temperature, right?
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Because you put out a steak out that's cold, that's 30, 40, let's say call it 38 degrees, 40 degrees, whatever your fridge is at, and you put it strictly on a hot pan, the outside's going to sear, a lot of water is going to come out, and the inner part's going to be cold, it's going to cook properly. You leave it outside for 25 minutes, comes with room temperature, man, you got a beautiful steak.
I agree 100%. That's exactly what I do. I guess there is something behind it.
There is something behind it. Like leaving butter out, softening it out before. It's like the littlest things, right? So it's like I needed to learn that so I could apply it into the restaurant. So I went to the restaurant and working with my family, grew the restaurant. And that was another learning curve, man, because getting civilized, coming from a Marines to the civilian world, and the nastiness, man, like the undisciplined individuals. That was my mindset, like during that time, right? Like some nasty ass people, undisciplined ass. They can't even cut their nails. Look at them. They can't even iron the damn clothes when they come to work. And it was all the time because I was thankfully, through the hard work, I was a leader throughout the Marine Corps. So I was in charge of Marines, man. We had every time we got to work, I had to check my Marines. I was in food service. So I did a morning inspection every single day. I checked your trousers. I checked your nails, both the front, the top of your hands and the back of your hands. Yeah. Right. I checked everything. I checked your nose hairs, checked your ear. I checked everything. And if you came nasty to my childhood, ooh, yeah, everything except everything,
Yeah.
Let me check your trousers and see, make sure you iron them shits. I'm kidding. No, but it was, that was procedure, right? That's what, that was regulations. That's why you had to follow, because you're touching food, right?
Yeah.
And you don't get nobody sick. So I was so hardcore when I got to the restaurant. My mom pulled me to the side. I'm like, listen to me. If you don't change your shit, you go find another job. I don't want you here because you are too much. This is not the Marines. This is not the Marine Corps. You need to relax. You need to take a deep breath, because there was a lot of anxiety coming out too to adjust to civilian life. And I didn't have a guide. I had nobody to tell me how to adjust, how to learn to live in a civilian world, but and still keeping your military bearing and traits and all that stuff. So I had to learn on my own, and it took me a while, man. It took me a little bit and a lot of different moments in life, and while I was at the restaurant and with people, with friends, and to find my groove again. I went kind of like on a pause in my life, trying to find myself. So that was tough, but throughout it, I learned a lot about the cooking and being a chef, being a restaurant owner, running a restaurant. And essentially I was able I learned how to use my military experience to apply it into this world to guide my employees at the restaurant so they could be my little Marines in the civilian world. But in a more relaxed way.
Right.
So I had my crew, man, loyal as I could be. Like, they were loyal and worked. They came in, they knew what needed to get done. But through the time I went from being uber strict to being strict, but also caring, being a father, right? Mm-hmm. To these people, because a lot of them, that's what they're looking for. Someone's always looking for someone to listen to give him advice. So I took that platform. I took that the responsibility to heart to help these kids out that were coming through the ranks, right, at the restaurant. And it was pretty amazing, man, to see a lot of them grow. They came in. Some of them like were with me for 4 or 5 years and will get an actual job. So it was like, I was like cycling through, man, like training. I go out to real world. You're good to go. I don't want you here anymore, So it was pretty cool. It was like a lot of projects in that sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What would you say the future holds for you?
My future holds, man, so much. I see myself in the future be speaking a lot in front of groups of people, at conferences, obviously, at corporations, coaching, leading. I feel that life has prepared me for this moment, this change in my life. Going back, I'll go back to September 29th, the last day we had the restaurant open. And we transitioning right now to open a new one, and my brother's taking lead on that so I could do my startup. And that was the hardest day, one of my hardest days of my life, to close down what has been open for 25 years. What got us started when we got to this country 2.5 years after we got here to United States. We opened that restaurant, and that restaurant provided an amazing life for us. Got us, through work, obviously, and everything, but I was able to buy the house I'm sitting in, the other house that I rent. Being able to have met my wife. I met her at the restaurant. And I believe without that, I wouldn't have my boys right now that are sleeping. My brother with his business in Puerto Rico, my other brother, like we're all entrepreneurs. We're all business owners. We came as immigrants, right? As immigrants here to the United States of America. We were born abroad in the United States. My father's Cuban American. So, but anyway, with that said, I was still an immigrant when we got here. I was treated as that, and I was made sure. People made sure they knew I was not part of them. That I was an immigrant, right? That I didn't belong here. And I could tell you right now, I served the Marine Corps because I wanted to protect this country and our shores. I wanted to fight. I wanted to fight for the freedom that my father gave us, and be able to at least give my 4 years to this country. And that's why I did that. And now we look forward. I am starting a new journey. I'm starting from scratch again. And I'm excited because I got so many tools in my rucksack, man, and I'm going off three points, three services I'm providing, which are, business restaurant consulting from scratch to from idea to finished product, or let me come in, let me reshuffle things and set you on the right path. And the second wave is working in the health and wellness area with pharmaceutical companies, healthcare companies, or food brands, helping them connect to the Latino market. Because a lot of them don't know how to speak to us and market to us in an organic manner where we feel that you cared about our well-being and how we are spending our money, because we got a lot of it. Mm-hmm. There is 8 million Latino business owned here in the United States, over $700 trillion, bro.
That's a lot of money.
You there? All right.
Yeah.
So we are a force, man. So I am taking all of that, and this is what I'm doing. And the last part is obviously the speaking, sharing my capabilities, and helping other people grow. In the health and wellness space with diabetes and everything. And I think I should plug my book, my book called Chef Ronaldo Sabores de Cuba, that was published by the American Diabetes Association. So I am not only, I am an advocate for Latino, for the health, for the community, but I walk the walk, man. I live that life. But that said, going into the Marine mindset, and that's something new that I'm developing, and I can't wait to put it out there, man. I'm really, really pumped about that. And just life has been good, man. Life has been good. As hard as it's been, I don't think I would change any of it, because I wouldn't be here sitting with you guys speaking about it, man.
Yeah, no kidding. So where can people find you on social media, or do you have a website as well?
No, for sure. The website is ronaldolinares.com. And we're in a process of updating the website. I mean, it's live, but we're changing things every day, so it doesn't go offline. And you can find me on Instagram, chef_Ronaldo_, LinkedIn, please, LinkedIn, Ronaldo Linares. Go there. I want to connect. I want to find out about you. I just want to talk with you, create community, and, Twitter, chef_Ronaldo, or just all the platforms. Go to the search box, Ronaldo Linares. My face is on all my profile pics, so you will not miss that handsome face, the ageless face. You will not miss that at all, man.
Well, Ronaldo, man, we would like to thank you for coming on the podcast. It was a great experience. We had a lot of fun.
No, hell yeah, man. No, this was awesome. I love the podcast, and I can't wait to start mine. I would love to have you guys on my podcast when it goes live to interview you.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And
we're down.
About what your story, man. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You guys with one gem, right? Recently, I've been taking cold showers, right? And I want your listeners to listen to this and to do it. I got wind of it a few weeks ago, and it just entered my mind. And then a couple of days ago, I was listening to the Ice. You guys heard of the Iceman, right?
Oh,
right?
yeah, Wim Hof.
It's crazy shit. So yeah, Exactly, the Wim Hof breathing. So I'm like, holy crap. Again, I'm hearing about it. I'm like, yo, the universe is telling me something. Take cold showers. So I read it. I'm like, man, this is pretty cool. It resets your mind. It resets your body, right?
Yeah.
So I've been taking cold showers I started for a week, right? So I go Sunday through Monday, cold shower, and Saturday, that's my gift to myself. I take a warm shower. But let me tell you, ever since I started taking those cold showers, my awareness, my body awareness, when I'm taking that cold, when I'm saying cold, man, like cold as hell. And I get under there, I do the breathing.
Yeah.
And this shit works.
Yeah, you got to do the breathing.
You start recognizing your body. You get warm. Like you get warm. It's cold, but it's warm inside.
Yeah.
Inside the body's warm. And I soap up, I clean up, and I'm not rushing. I'm in there. And when I get out, my body is freezing, but I'm warm. I'm aware of it. But I go into such a state of meditation, man, and it is unbelievable. My words have never been clearer. My thought pattern has never been clearer. No joke, man. I no joke. So get over the fact that the water is cold, because that's all it is.
Yeah.
The water's just cold, honestly. And you do it for at least 3 days, man, that you're going to see a change in you. And
yeah. I believe it's
bro. Like
I believe the cold water, like when you're in it for so long that it when you get out of it, like there's like a shot of blood that just rushes your system.
Yes,
and
reflushing your blood, man.
Yeah, that's exactly what it 100%. Does.
So I wanted to leave. I just really wanted to share that gem with you guys. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. The first time sucks.
Yeah.
So you go in there and you're like, I got this. No, you don't. I got this. And then you're like, all right, man. And then you take a deep breath and you kind of, and you jump out of there quick. The second, all right. You do a little more reading. Okay. And you go in there and it's like, and then you relax, you calm down, and then you're like, holy crap, I feel everything. I feel my body, and nothing else matters. Nothing else matters, man.
Yeah.
And like you said, the rush of blood that you feel through your body, amazing, man. Amazing. Like your joints, everything feels so good. So definitely try, and it's free.
Yeah.
It's probably like $1, but you know, but you know what I mean? It's not something that's crazy, but I wanted to share with you guys, my man. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Truly blessed, man. And good luck with this amazing podcast. Definitely, I am subscribed and I've listened to them already. So I'm pumped, man, to listen to this one, obviously, but also to keep listening to your guys' journey, man. And when I get my podcast, definitely would love to have you guys on there.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? All right. Yo, thank you so much, guys.